Earlier on, I talked about the importance of making preparations for the case that you may become ill. I recommend that you prepare yourself in 3 different ways, and I recommend that you look into these with a solicitor and an independent interpreter so you can gain an understanding of how they work. Unfortunately, there's no information available in sign language on the government website, which is something that I'm campaigning for. The first thing I recommend is to obtain a power of attorney. A power of attorney is 2 separate documents, and they are legal documents. Within those, they focus on health and finances. You can nominate a number of people to represent yourself if you become ill, or if you need support and need the support of someone to do things for you. We all know what it's like when you've been asked to phone somewhere and have to ask a family member to help and they don't get anywhere because of security measures. If you have a power of attorney, this preempts this, and your nominated person can do things for you. The documents are very complicated and they can work in different ways, and I would advise that you get a solicitor involved, and it means you can gain an understanding and decide how you want the documents to work for you. They can be running, or they can only run if you become ill and it's deemed that you cannot do things for yourself. They are very complex, so again, seek legal advice about this. The legal documents can enable people to do basic things like, if you can't go to the bank for yourself, your nominated person can go for you because they have a certificate to prove that they have a power of attorney to act on your behalf. Or it can be quite complex things like sorting out pensions or benefits. The medical document can ensure that people can help to do things like sort out medications or speak to a nurse or a GP on your behalf. But it also can be quite complex things like making a decision to end life support or treatment options. If you are at a point where your health has deteriorated and you can't make those decisions yourself. The other thing I would recommend is to look into an advance directive. This is my sign for advance directive. This is a document which you can explain your wishes and feelings. And that means if you become unwell and you have expressed your wishes and feelings about things you do not want to happen or things that you do, in the event of you becoming seriously ill and not being able to communicate your wishes and feelings yourselves, this document is already in place and the medical professionals must read it and take into account your wishes and feelings. So it might include things like not wanting your family to interpret, or wanting specific people to interpret for you because they can understand your communication needs. It can include medication or treatment that you may or may not want. So again, I advise to speak to an expert in this area to get more advice about how that can work for you. The third thing I recommend is a will. And you really do need to prepare these because you never know what's going to happen in the future. If a person dies, the paperwork around this can be extremely complex. It helps the person sorting out the will if you have a will or a power of attorney. And you need to do that via an independent interpreter and a solicitor.